Good evening, black people and all allies fighting for black liberation, black prosperity, and black joy. I'm Charles Blow, and welcome to Prime. Since Haiti suffered a 7.2 magnitude earthquake on Saturday, relief efforts have been slow. The instability of Haiti's government, damaged and blocked roads, and underdeveloped infrastructure are among the barriers to delivering supplies to survivors in need. Matters were made worse Monday with the arrival of Tropical Depression Grace. It brought heavy rains resulting in mudslides and floods in some open areas where earthquake survivors are forced to sleep. In total, 1.2 million Haitians have been impacted by the earthquake, with more than 1,900 deaths and 9,900 injuries and countless families displaced due to property damage. And again, these are still early estimates. The climbing death toll and damage estimates have pushed the Pentagon to form a task force to assist the USAID in their disaster relief efforts. The United Nations has also allocated $8 million in aid to Haiti. The country has lost vital infrastructure like hospitals, schools, and bridges, but Haiti's most significant loss may be its churches. The people of Haiti had come to depend on churches to provide social services in lieu of well-resourced government agencies. For the people of Haiti, churches were more than just houses of worship. They also offered a place to gather, seek refuge, get food, and education. Joining us to discuss the earthquake relief effort and the rebuilding of Haiti are former UN official and activist Monique Clesca and Executive Director of Locally Haiti, Wynn Walent. And from Haiti is owner of BRITE Initiative, Nadia Odjo. Nadia, I want to start with you since you're coming to us from Haiti. Can you just give an update of what it is like there on the ground now?
Well, the things are honestly, very difficult. Very difficult for the people that are dealing with all of that. And I think also very difficult for people who want to help, because as you said earlier, it's even the people who want to bring help are not able to because of the road situation and because of the different issues with gangs that are literally taking control of some of the passageways. It's just very difficult. It really is.
So, Mr. Walent, taking what Ms. Odjo just said about how difficult it is, gangs are becoming involved, what is the best way for the international community to get aid to the survivors of this earthquake who desperately need it?
It's to directly support community-based institutions, local leaders who know their communities best, local leaders who can make an impact in the places that they live and know. And so it's before you do any giving is to make sure that that giving is going to end up in the hands of local people, local leaders. That's a big lesson learned from the 2010 earthquake. Not enough support got to local people, local institutions, and that has to change this time.
Ms. Clesca, what other lessons do we think we have learned from the last earthquake, the last major earthquake in 2010 in Haiti, that can be applied here so that we do a better job of responding, in addition to giving money directly to kind of activists on the ground?
Thank you. I think, first of all, we have to send our sympathies to everyone who is affected. And it's kind of like a huge gut punch, when you're trying to walk back after so many things that have happened. Now, but one of the major lessons is the lack of coordination that happened last time. Anybody came and gave aid in any manner. And this really hampered the efforts. And right now, what is going on the ground, I left Haiti last night, and what is going on the ground is normal people, neighbors, etc., helping, as well as grassroots organizations and civil society organizations. And I think the coordination has to be done at the local level, as well as there is the parastatal organization called Protection Civile. It is not a government organization, it is a parastatal organization, and it is coordinating the assistance. Even though it is extremely difficult with the challenges, and it shows the failure of the government in place, because the gangs that have held the roadways to the southern area are still holding them hostage for, it's been 2 months now. The health system is a very weak health system, sometimes with no gauze, no alcohol, etc. So people are really trying extremely hard to work things out practically on our own. So I think that is the big lesson, that Haitians are doing it. And we are very heroic people, but we are thrown challenges after challenges, and schools being closed, and churches being destroyed, as well as schools. Now, school season is about to open in September. What is going to happen to all these children who need their education? And shelter, there is no shelter. Usually the churches, as you said in your opening statements, the churches are used for shelter. There is no, there are very few churches, even voodoo temples have been destroyed. Catholic as well as Protestant churches have been destroyed. So this really is a terrible, horrible gut punch that we've been dealt. But we're coming through, and we will make it out of this, and as we have made it out of every tragedy that has befallen us.
Right. Ms. Odjo, do you believe that that Haiti needs an infusion of international troops to help to restore order, to get access to the roads that the gangs may be occupying at this point, and to get the funding and the assistance down to the community organizers who need it?
That is a very difficult question to answer, because if you ask any Haitian, most Haitians don't really want American intervention in Haiti, because it's a double-edged sword. It does bring with it some good things, but it also brings with it some things that are not very welcomed by Haitians. However, the way the situation is right now in Haiti, I truly do not see I do not see a way out of this without help. I don't see any of the different actors, different political actors. I don't see any of them having what it takes to actually bring the country where the country needs to be. And so, to be honest with you, I really don't know where this help is gonna come from.
Mr. Walent, how do we get over or help the Haitians to get over kind of a bad taste in their mouth about people intervening in their country and not doing it well, or having that double-edged sword, as Ms. Odjo just described, where yes, there's some good things that come, but also there's some bad things that come when you have other people come into your country? How do you get over that in order to be able to provide assistance in the best possible way?
Yeah, I think the first thing is humility, to approach a situation knowing that people on the ground, Haitian people, know their communities and know their country. Another is taking the time to learn about the failures of the past, taking time to learn about why those sensitivities exist, try to understand them and learn deeply about them. Obviously, to learn the language and have close relationships over the long term. To parachute into anywhere and quickly hope to understand a complex situation, complex dynamics, and make a difference without making a mess. there's a bit of arrogance to that. And so there's certainly a place for the international community. There's certainly a place for aid, but it needs to be done humbly, and it needs to be done with Haitian voices at the forefront.
Ms. Clesca, what are your hopes going forward in the next couple of days as Haiti continues to dig out not only from the earthquake, but also now from the tropical storm, and also is still wrestling with trying to restore some normality to its government since the president has been assassinated? What is your hope in the coming days about how Haiti can and should and hopefully will bounce back from all of this?
Well, there is a commission to find a Haitian solution to the crisis. And I am very honored to be part of this commission that has been working for 5 months, trying to gather ideas and policy information on how to move Haiti forward out of all the corruption, out of all the impunity, out of all the misrule and bad governance. And there is an agreement that is on the table that we have shared with political parties and civil societies and throughout the country. And we should be holding a signing conference this Sunday, the 22nd. And it projects a political accord, and it projects also programmatic ways for a transition so that we can get out of the 10-year cycle, bad cycle of governance that has given us massacres and rapes and everything else. You can't fight with nature. So that is one thing, you know, when you have a storm or when you have an earthquake. But you can replace bad government with good government. You can replace corrupt people with people who are not corrupt, who are professionals in their matter. And this is the hope. And as I said before, Haitians are very heroic people, and we will do this. We can do this, and we will get through this and get together a transition government that can take us to peaceful, free elections when it is feasible to have security, because right now we don't have that. So that's what we want for the foreigners also to listen to the Haitian voices. And I humbly disagree with Ms. Odjo in terms of we Haitians can do it. Yes, with our dignity, with respect to our sovereignty, we can have people come and help us, but not take over and certainly not occupy us. So we do not want that, we do not need that, and we can do this.
Monique Clesca, Wynn Walent, and Nadia Odjo, thank you all so much for your time. Haiti is in our prayers. More Prime after this quick break. You're watching BNC.